Hello guys, you are welcome. In this video, we'll introduce polynomials and cover the addition and subtraction of polynomials. So let's begin with what a polynomial is. The word polynomial is composed of two distinct parts. That's poly and nomial. And poly is a Greek word which means many. And nomial is derived from the Latin word nomen, which means terms. So basically, a polynomial translates to many terms. A polynomial is an expression consisting of terms, and these terms are made up of variables and coefficients that involves operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and positive integer exponents of variables. So we have here 4 examples of polynomials, and let's look into these examples to understand the definition which I've given. So let's start with the bottom. We have here 2x minus 6y plus 5z plus 54. Now, in this sample here, we have 4 terms. These are distinct terms. And we say that from our definition, we say that it involves operations of addition, just like we have here, subtraction, and then multiplication. In this particular case, we don't have the multiplication operation. We'll see that in examples when we get under multiplication of polynomials. And then you agree with me that this another operation that is listed here is the positive integer exponents of variables. Now we have multiple variables in here, 1, 2, 3, that's x, y, z, and you agree with me that they are all raised to the power of 1, 1, 1, which is a positive integer. Now, a polynomial is a polynomial because the variables are raised to a positive integer. If the variables are raised to a negative integer, that expression ceases to be a polynomial. Now let's look at this. We have 2a squared minus 2ab minus 12b squared. This is another polynomial. We have 1, 2, 3 terms, and they are combined by subtraction. Then we have these other 2 examples. Now, in dealing with polynomials, there are some things I'd like you to understand. First of all, degree of a polynomial. The degree of the polynomial is the highest power in a polynomial, that is the exponent. In this first example, the highest power we have here is power 3. So this is a polynomial of third degree. Degree 3 polynomial. In this example, the highest exponent here is 4. So this is a polynomial of the 4th degree. And here, this is a polynomial of the 2nd degree. And here, this is a polynomial of the 1st degree. The second thing I'd like you to take note of is the standard form of expressing a polynomial. Now, if you look here, you will see that the terms are written in such a way that the powers of the variables all go down in descending order. We have power 3 here, power 2 here, and power 1. So while this is equal to this, this is not the standard form of expressing a polynomial. So your polynomials must be expressed in such a way that the powers are going down. And next thing I'd like us to take note of is like terms. In dealing with the addition and subtraction of polynomials, you have to understand what like terms are. 2 terms are said to be like terms if they have, first of all, the same variables, and secondly, each of the variables have the same exponents. This is when you can say you have a like term. These 2 conditions must be met. So looking at example 1 and 2, 2x cubed and x cubed are like terms. Why? Same variable, same equal exponents, power 3, power 3. Here we have 4x minus 4x squared and 5x squared are like terms. Same variable, x, same equal exponents, and the same thing here. So this brings me to, in a case where we have multiple variables, say x squared y, this is not equal to x y squared. Although they have the same variables, they do not have, each variable on the both sides do not have equal exponents. Here we have x raised to the power of 2, and here we have x raised to the power of 1. That's not equal. So this is not a like term. So that is that. And now let's solve one example under the addition and subtraction of polynomials. You have the question presented there, and you're given P1 and P2. And we have to find, first of all, P1 plus P2. Secondly, we have to find P1 minus P2. And finally, we have to find 2P1 minus 3P2. Now, let's get into that. We have to find P1 plus P2. and our P1 is equal to 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 7 plus our P2 is equal to x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 1. So let's open our brackets and we have 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 7 plus, now this being a positive sign. Now I'd like you to pay attention to this because I noticed this is where a lot of students get things wrong. For positive sign, once you open your brackets, everything inside the bracket remains the same. You see the difference when we are doing the minus. So this becomes x cubed plus x squared. Everything remains the same with a positive outside the bracket. That is this positive. So what we do next is we collect like terms. I remember I say like terms are the terms that have same variable and then equal exponents. So in this case, we have 2x cubed. The like term here is x cubed. Please, whenever you're collecting like terms, always move the term together with the sign in front of it. In this case, we have positive sign, that is plus sign. So we have plus x cubed. Then minus the next term, that is minus 3x squared. X squared here, we have plus x squared. Then we have plus 5x. You see this x is a negative, so you carry with the sign minus x. Please always carry your sign. You get why. So we have minus 7x plus 1. So when you are adding or subtracting your terms, your addition is with the coefficient. So the coefficient of x cubed here is 2 and the coefficient of x cubed here is 1. So we now have 2 plus 1, we have 3x cubed. Next one here, we have minus 3x squared plus x squared. Coefficient here is 1. So that is minus 3 plus 1. That will give us minus 2x squared. Now let me pause here for a bit. In taking the physical tutorials, I noticed that a lot of students have difficulties with dealing with this kind of this basic arithmetic. We'll touch a bit on that after this. Let me just wrap this up. So 5x minus x, you have plus 4x. Then minus 7 plus 1, you have minus 6. Now, back in primary school, I believe, you remember they told us something like 2, they will tell us 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Let me put this in the box so that we don't mix it up. But the moment you have 1 minus 2, they told us that this was impossible at the very basic level. And then I noticed that some university students are still stuck there. No, sir. In dealing with this, you have to go back to your number line. 1 minus 2 is possible and it equals to minus 1. And this is how we solve this. This is your number line. And these are integers. In dealing with integers, we have our midpoint, which is 0. And on the right-hand side, we have our positive integers. And then on the left-hand side, we have our negative integers. So when you are given something like 2 minus 1, you find your 2 on the number line. This is 2. Then minus 1. That means you have to move one step towards the negative sign. And that is why it's equal to 1. But then when you are given 1 minus 2, that is starting from here, it is minus. You move 2 directions in 2 steps, negative side, and then you have minus 2. So this is how we get these answers. You need, if you have not mastered basic arithmetic like this, don't be ashamed to use your number line, because so that you shall end up with the right answers. Because what happens at the end of the day, you see a lot of people, they come out from the exam or they'll be like, I solved everything. But then when results now comes out, it's basic things like this, little things like this that get people to fail math 111. So if you don't know, you haven't mastered this, don't be ashamed to use your number line until you gain mastery. So take for example now, where we have this minus 7 plus 1. On our number line, immediately rush your number line. Let's, wherever your minus 7 is, it should be minus 7. Then that will let you know that here will be minus 8, there will be minus 6, and then you get to your 0, and then you start your positive on this other side, that is plus 1. So now, they said minus 7 plus 1, that is, you start at your minus side, and then plus 1, that means you are moving one step towards the positive direction. That's why we have minus 6. Please, you need to understand this, because this, in my physical tutorials, I've seen that this is where a lot of students miss it in getting the right answers. So let's head on straight to the next part, which is P1 minus P2. And our P1 is still equal to x cubed, 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 7 minus x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 1. So This is also equal, you open your bracket now, 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 7. Then our negative sign now will affect everything inside here. That it multiplies everything. So negative times positive x cubed is negative. So you have minus x cubed. Negative times negative. Negative times positive is negative. So you have negative x squared. Negative times negative is positive. So this becomes plus x. Negative times positive is negative. So this becomes minus 1. So it's important for you to know this. When you multiply like signs, you have positive. That is minus times minus is equals to positive. Plus times plus is equal to positive. Minus times plus, or vice versa, plus times minus is equals to negative. So now let's move on. So we collect like terms, which is equal to 2x cubed, or as I like them, minus x cubed, minus 3x squared, minus x squared, plus 5x, bring this plus x, minus 7, minus 1. So 2x cubed minus x cubed. Remember, the coefficient of x cubed here is 1. So that's 2 minus 1. You have x cubed. Then minus 3x squared minus x squared. That is minus 3 minus 1. Let's make use of our number line. This is our minus 3. And then we are doing minus 1. That is, we'll move one step towards the negative. We can't extend this number line. But what we have here is minus 4. Minus 4. So what we have here is minus 4x squared. Then minus 5x plus x. That is plus 6x. Then minus 7, minus 1. We come back to our number line again. 7, then minus 7, then minus 1. That means one step towards the negative side again. That will bring us to minus 8. So our answer here is minus 8. That's our final. 2p1 minus 3p2. This will be equal to 2. Our p1 is 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 7, then minus 3 into p2 is x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 1. Now let's open our brackets. 2 multiplies everything here. 2 times 2x cubed becomes 4x cubed. 2 times 3 minus this becomes minus 6x squared plus 2 here we have 10x. 2 here we have minus 14. Then remember, we're multiplying as this goes in, the minus sign affects everything. So minus 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x, then minus 3. Collect like terms. 4x cubed minus 3x cubed minus 6x squared minus 3x squared plus 10x plus 3x minus 14 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 will give us 1. So this becomes x cubed. Minus 6x squared minus 3. Let's do our number line again. This, assuming this is minus 6, here we minus 5. We have minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10. So we have minus 6 minus 3. That is 3 steps towards the negative. 1, 2, 3. So we have minus 9x squared. Please, if you have not mastered this thing, don't be afraid and ashamed to use your number line. I don't have to use a number line to know that the answer is minus 9. But in case you don't master it, please. Because it's better to take it easy and get the right answer than to rush. I know your exams in this course, it's MCQ. You either get the right answer or you get the wrong answer. They are not looking at your steps. No one is grading you based on your steps or based on the right answers. So you miss one thing, your answers will not be correct. So please. So next up, we have 10x plus 3x. That becomes 13x. Then minus 14 minus 3. Let's assume this is our minus 14. There will be minus 13. There will be minus 15. There will be minus 16. There will be minus 17. There will be minus 18. Then, okay, minus 3. That means we are going 3 steps to the negative. If this was plus 3, we will go 3 steps towards positive. Positive is this side. Positive is this way. Negative is this way. So minus 14 minus 3. This is 1, 2, 3. So our answer here is minus 17. And this is the final answer. So please, I will encourage you. I want to encourage you to practice this because practice is how mastery comes. And right here is an example, some exercises for you to try on your own. And if you face any difficulty or have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments after attempting the exercise. And please, if you have found this video helpful, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson in this series. Also, do well to like and share this video with your colleagues. Thank you very much.